guys. So I have been posting a few photos of my makeup, and a lot of you guys said that you actually wanted to see a video of basically how I do it. So I took the courage and set up a page and thought, you know what the heck, let's go for it. So yeah, so you can now see how I apply my makeup. I have bought fake eyelashes that I've never applied in my life. Well, I tried them once, some magnetic ones. I might not use those today because I don't feel very confident doing them, especially on camera when it's like the proper first time I've done them. But today I am waiting on my Huda Beauty palette. I'll show you. So I have, the one I'm waiting to come in the post is the third Huda Beauty palette I've got, or ordered, sorry. And it's the Huda Beauty neon palette that I've ordered, and it's the orange one that I've gone for, which sounds like, oh my god. But when you see the colours in them, it's absolutely stunning. And I'm waiting for Mr. Postman to bring it. As you can see, I'm like window twitching. But yeah, they're absolutely stunning. So it's got like, I wouldn't say fluorescent, but like a glittery yellow, which is really pretty. It's got oranges, it's got pinks, just really fiery, really stunning colours. And the other palettes I've got is these. So that's my Huda Beauty Lilac palette, and the colours in them are absolutely gorgeous. So these don't have names, but as you're probably aware, I'm always wearing glittery things or things with sequins in. So yeah, like the glittery ones appeal to me, but also the pressed pigment powders, but also the matte ones apply so nicely. So that's the lilac palette, the pastel lilac palette, and then this is the Huda Beauty Gold Obsession palette. And the reason why I went for this one is just because it's got so many, as you can tell, I like the glittery eyeshadows. It's got so many like neutrally lovely colours that just really appeal to me, and my favourite colour is gold. So yeah, it's got the gold in as well, which is absolutely lovely, and it's got a really decent size mirror as well, so they're just perfect to pop in your hand. But I'm not going to be using those today because the past few days I've been wearing purple, purple and purple. So and I know last time I wore my Urban Decay and put a photo up, everybody was like, that's a really nice palette. How did you apply the makeup? Because it just went on so nicely. It was so vivid, and yeah. So this is my Urban Decay Honey Naked palette. Sorry, Naked Honey palette. And yeah, decent sized mirror, tons of different colours, and it's got a really nice brush with it as well, if I can get it out. Can't get it out. There we go. It's got a really nice brush, so it's got like a blending end there, and then it's got like a packing end, which is, it's just a really good brush, to be fair. I also ordered the ultraviolet, the Urban Decay ultraviolet palette, which is really nice, but I've noticed a few people have said that the different palettes you get have different brushes, and the ultraviolet one isn't my favourite, if I'm honest. It's got a decent enough blending end, but then it's got like a different nib on the other end, which is tiny. Don't get me wrong, it's good if you're doing like the inner corner of your eyes, but yeah, it's not my favourite brush, but it is a nice palette, and I will show you that one later because I do plan on doing some more videos for you guys coming up. So, right, that's just my neighbour leaving. So, where do I start? So, I ventured to Boots. We're in lockdown. It's a really rubbish situation. We can only get essentials. But yeah, I desperately needed some iron tablets and other bits and bobs from Asda. So Boots. So while I was down there, I got a few bits and bobs. Since lockdown, I've had some wrinkles sneaking in. Since we started having to wear the masks, I must be like, what's the word? I must be using my expressions a lot more. I must be using my expressions a lot more than normal because obviously you can't see my mouth, so I must be doing this all the time. So yeah, I'm getting increased wrinkles across my head. So I keep getting one here and one here. So I also went to Boots to get a retinol serum as well, just to give it a whirl. So yeah, hopefully give that a few days, see how that goes. So, and I also bought a concealer. I haven't bought a concealer in quite a while. The last one I bought was a Rimmel one, like almost like the lipstick one, and it's naff. It was naff. That was however many years ago, and thankfully makeup has improved since then. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to start doing makeup. So the concealer I bought the other day was the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer in the shade Light Peach. I was looking at another one which had rose in the name, however after holding up to my skin I thought, nah, that's very too light. I'm quite a light complexion as it is, so if you just go lighter, didn't want to risk it. So I'll start off and I'll stop yapping. So my Flawless Concealer, I tried it for the first time yesterday and I was actually quite impressed. So I'm going to be obviously videoing and referring to my mirror just below. And if I go silent, I'm sorry. And if you see me looking past the mirror, it's because you are currently stuck to my window, which is a little bit awkward. Because every time somebody walks past, they're looking in the mirror because obviously it looks like I'm videoing outside, but I'm not. I need a makeup table, a dressing table, but I don't have one and we don't have any room for one, unfortunately. So, right, I'll stop yapping and crack on. So it's got like a lip gloss kind of brush with a felted end, and then I'll just pop it over my bags because I have a toddler who is 3 years old and is currently waking up quite a few times in the night at the moment. So I have extremely big bags under my eyes. Right. It's quite thick, this concealer, which is good because the other one was quite, what's the word, see-through. I'm just using a brush that I'm on. If I'm honest, when I got my Maybelline Matte Mousse foundation, it came like this. It did have a handle on it, a plastic handle, but it snapped off because I was a little bit rough with it. So I now have just a sponge. So I'm just applying it under my bags, under my eyes. I really did want to be doing my neon palette, my Huda Beauty neon palette today, but it still hasn't arrived. I hate the fact that we're in lockdown as well, because like the postal service is obviously backed up with all sorts of parcels. Like there was a big massive backlog before and I wasn't getting any of my parcels, which was slightly annoying, but it's just the situation that we're dealing with. So I think that's blended out quite well and it's pretty exact to my skin tone actually, so I was actually really surprised at how well it matched. Right, so what I normally do is I start off on my eyes. You've probably watched quite a few videos for makeup if you're watching this, if I'm honest, and you get what is classed as fallout, which is just excess powder that's on your brush, and it has a tendency of going on your cheeks. So I have a tendency of like applying foundation last. I'm not a big foundation wearer, if I'm honest. My skin is quite, I wouldn't say oily, I do have quite dry skin, but I get blocked pores really easily, so I don't wear heavy foundations, and when I do wear foundation it's usually my Dream Matte Mousse or my FM, Blur Effect foundation. So I'll start off on my eyes basically, so I'm not going to put foundation on till the end, if you can class my Dream Matte Mousse as foundation, and it's looking really sorry for itself. I need a new one, like it's pretty much empty. I did mention I had some eyelashes, at the beginning of the video, but I think I'll use those at the end because I think they're a little full on, especially for the look I'm going to go for, because as I said, I've worn purple for the past few days, so I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette, so I'm going to be going for like a smoky kind of browny goldy look today. So everybody says, like, how do you get your eyeshadow to just seem so vivid? Now, initially, before I started using eyeshadow primers, I just used to use water, a little dip on the end of your finger, wipe it over your eye, wait till it dried a smidge, not too much, just so it was still like a little bit damp, and then apply your makeup, and it stayed all day. I'd never used like a fixing spray or anything like that. It's probably horrendous. I just used to use hairspray on my face, and my makeup used to last pretty much till night time quite well. But when I started selling FM, I discovered the FM eyeshadow primer. So I'm just going to use my eyeshadow. Sorry, I got distracted there. There was a dog walking past. So I'm just going to use my FM eyeshadow primer now. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good eyeshadow primer, if I'm honest. It wasn't too expensive. I think it was about £7-8 quid, something like that. But I'd have to find out if anybody was interested in getting any anyway. And it comes in a tub, and you just dip your finger in, and it's as easy as that. I was using a brush at one point, but I found it wasn't applying nicely enough. I was kind of like using a lipstick brush. It wasn't applying nicely enough, and it was applying too thickly, so I just use my finger now. So just obviously rubbing my finger in there, I just go along my eyelid. I concentrate on putting more of the eyeshadow primer on my eyelid and into the crack of my eye, as opposed to up to my brow. But I do use it up to my brow because, as you will see, I mean, a lot of people go, how do you get your eyeshadow so vivid? And I think the key is using lots of different shades, varied shades, like shading it up, which just adds a bit more depth and a bit more colour, and it just makes it that little bit more warmer. So the last look I did was predominantly mostly browns, with just the gold highlight, whereas today I think I'm going to go for browns, the pressed powder browns in the cracks of my eyes, and then go for like the metallic-y kind of colours. So you can see there is a bit of a colour difference there, and as I said, I've predominantly focused on my eyelid, in the crack of my eye, and not too much up to the top there. So I have a tendency of just wiping my brushes on a bit of toilet roll as I go, just to not mix colours, because it can make your eyeshadows pretty dull and they're not the correct tone if you're not too careful. So so what I do is it's a bit of a, I'm still kind of learning as I go, if I'm honest. So initially I would start off on the lighter tones. So last time I did a look, I went to that one, to that one, to that one, then to that one, and a bit of that. Whereas I found when you start on the lighter colour, and then you put another colour, and then another colour, and then another colour, the eyeshadow primer doesn't have a tendency of picking up the eyeshadow all that brilliant when you've got too many layers on. So last time when I did a purple look, I started off on the dark tone and then went a shade lighter and a shade lighter, but I didn't like lay them on top of each other because it was kind of finding it a bit difficult for it to stick. So I just start on the darker layer, and then on the edge go to a lighter layer, and then a lighter layer, and then a lighter layer. But I think today, what should I do? I'll stick with my idea of starting with like the lighter layer and then going to a darker layer. I'm not going to go too high up on my brow either, because I'm picking my nephew up from school and I don't want it to be like a really full-on look, otherwise I look like I'm trying too hard. So I'm just going to start off with Swarm, which is this colour. And they are so, I'm so impressed with these eyeshadows because they're so highly pigmented. And that's tiny, it was a tiny dab there. So I'll start off with the lightest shade, and I'm just focusing in the crack of my eye. And then you just very subtly shade it up over. Now I think when you're doing eyeshadows it's quite important to make sure that you have a bit of each eyeshadow layer. So obviously if you're starting with a lighter colour you don't want to completely cover it with a dark layer, because otherwise it's pointless putting it on and you won't see it. So yeah, it's quite important for you to like spread it out far enough for you to be able to see it. So that's the lighter layer. Then I'm going to go to Keeper, which is this colour. Pop that again. Like you can see, they're so highly pigmented. You don't need a lot. I mean, I initially looked at these palettes and kind of like, God, they're so tiny. Like you don't get much in the way of eyeshadow in them. Like, is it really worth, is it value for money basically, in a nutshell? Because my other eyeshadows that I had before I started purchasing them were by a company called Front Cover, and they're domed eyeshadows. I'll show you quickly. I think this is the one that I've like annihilated. This was like my golden palette. But yeah, as you can see, they're domed and you get a lot of eyeshadow with them, and I thought they were pretty decent company when I was like a teenager growing up. Yes, I have makeup from them. Shameful, I know. But yeah, I thought they were good value for money because you got a lot of eyeshadow on them. And when I looked at these, I was like, they're tiny, like you're not going to get much from them, but because they are so pigmented, you don't need loads. And then I'm just going to, sorry, I didn't tell you that, I'm just going to the next colour, which is Drip. I'm concentrating that purely in the crack in my eye. When it comes to your eyeshadow, it's probably quite an important thing. Well, I think it is an important thing to not forget your bottom eyelid. I'm just trying to decide which colours to go to now. Do I go for Queen or do I go for see, I'm thinking of going for Queen on the outside and then golden on the inside, or do I go for amber on the outside and then golden on the inside? I'm kind of gravitating towards amber, if I'm honest, so I think I'll go for amber. And for these I'm just going to go and get my other brushes out as well, because I have the brushes that come with the palettes and then I have my extras. Right, my other brushes that I like to use, I don't know if I've got the name on. I think they're called Eco brushes. I bought them in TK Maxx and they're lovely. They're bamboo brushes, so you don't feel as guilty about using them. Because obviously it's a natural wood, it rots down. But I can't imagine many people chucking brushes away really, because they don't really die, not unless they're having a lot of heavy use. So yeah. Right, so with my eyelid, oh god, I've got like this really naff cold, which isn't even classed as a cold. When your child starts nursery you get anything and everything, and she's giving me like this really naff cold where I get like a pain in the back of my throat just down this side, morning and night. During the day I'm alright, but I've got like phlegm on my chest. So, right, I think with this look, obviously if you're going for a dark crease in your eye, it's usually quite important to have like a lighter colour on your brow. So with my bamboo brush here, I'm just going to go for Flyby just underneath my eyebrow. It's not a metallic colour, but it's not far off. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's quite a nice colour just to kind of cap your eye underneath your eye with. There we go. So as I said, I think I'm going to go for amber on the inside and then golden on the centre. Or do I go for honey? What do you reckon? I might show you the honey today because the honey is a really vivid colour and everybody kind of goes, whoa, that's nice. It's like, yes, it is nice. Right, so I'm starting off on the amber, which is the kind of coppery colour. And I'm just going from the inside. And then I'm going to leave the centre of my eye bare. And then I'm going to go from the outside. To the centre there. There we go. Right, and then I'm going to go to the honey, which is the brighter shade of gold, because I know a lot of you guys are fans of it. And it's just so vivid. I love the golden shade, the one beside it, but I think it's too close to the coppery colour I've used. And I didn't want it to blend too much to the point where you don't see it. So I thought, right, if I go for the lighter shade, the honey, then you should hopefully be able to see it. There we go. And then I think I've forgotten, but I normally put like a very dark tone. So I'm just going for Sting at the end there, the very dark one. You don't need much of it at all, it goes a long way. Just to add more of a darker tone, just in the crack. And it kind of graduates the two together as well. And as I said, you don't want to forget your bottom brow. I'll just wipe my brush. You don't want to forget your bottom brow as well, because otherwise it'll look daft and then it won't blend. So this is my other one. It's like an eyeliner and it's brilliant. So I think I'm gonna go for I'll go for the Keeper. So I'll kind of do the same shades that I've done below. I'll start off on Keeper again. And shade it down, and then I'm going to go to Drip. Again, shading it like you would do on your eye, and then I'm going to go to Sting. Just like that. And then I think just to add a bit of a pop, I have a tendency of doing this anyway, just because it brightens your eye. I haven't used this HBIC, don't know what that stands for, but I might just put a bit of this in the corner. I think it's quite close to the shade Amber. I'm just going to graduate it towards the other tone there. There we go, just like that, and that is one eye done. So I'll start on the next eye again. So I'm going to start off on Swarm. Oh, hang on, what am I doing? I haven't put my primer on my other eye. Won't go very far with that. I haven't actually tried these without an eyeshadow primer. I might do it another day, but not on video possibly. So as I said, just using my FM eyeshadow primer. Second eye, I put predominantly more on the eyelid and in the crease of the eye than I do on the actual eye. I'm dying to use those fake eyelashes, but I just don't dare do them on camera because, one, I'm not a confident eyelash wearer as it is because I wear glasses and they just catch on glasses, if I'm honest, because they're so long. They catch on your glasses and it drives you insane because you can't really blink properly. So yeah, I don't know. I'm dying to use them, but I don't do them on camera. I also need some eyelash appliers. So once I've got some of those, hopefully it'll make my life a bit easier as well. And I'm going to practice off camera as well. So as I said earlier, more primer on the eyelid and in the crack of the eye than on the actual brow. Don't want it to be too strong on the brow. You've got to kind of graduate it and do it subtly. So back to where I was. Oh, lost my brush. So I'm going to start off with Swarm, like I did on the previous eye. So just going into the crack and blending it out and try my best to make it look like the other eye. Do my best to not get it on my eyelid too much because you need to save that primer for the metallic-y tones. So again, just shading it up over. Might have put a bit too much colour there. Rub a bit off. There we go. Right, and then I'm going to go to Keeper, which is the next shade. Again, in the crack of my eye. Just to increase that depth of colour. And then I'm going to go to Drip, which is that colour, like the brownie tone. Which again is quite a dark tone. And then I'll go straight to the metallics again, but then I'll come back to the correct tone. Sorry, I'll come back to the darker tone, the Sting, once I've done the metallic-y tones on my eyelid. Right, I think while I'm here and using the same colour, I might just go straight to my bottom brow. So I'm going to go with the Keeper again, which is that tone. And then I will go to Drip. Because I'm having to do this on my window, everybody walks past staring at me, so it's like you're trying to do it subtly, but you're not trying to look like you're looking at people, and you're trying to, like, I don't know, be proud and not look daft at what you're doing. The next shade I've gone to is the Sting, but yeah, it's kind of awkward, I'm not gonna lie. I desperately need a makeup table, but we do have room, but we don't have room. Right, so the next shade I'm going to go on to again is the amber in the cracks of my eyes, so on the inside and the outside, and then I'll concentrate on the honey on the outside. When it comes to my brush, I really pay attention to which tone I've used on which side, so I'm not mixing the colours. So that's the honey side, and then that's the amber side. So I'll start off with the amber. Go on the inside. It's a lovely, it's a brilliant brush this for like pushing the colour in there. Just makes it like really vivid. I think when you get half-assed brushes that don't kind of push the colour in, I think that a lot of the time that's where people go wrong. You've got to have quite strong bristles on the brush to force the colour and powder in there. I am rubbish at multitasking, so if I go quiet, I'm sorry. But yeah, try my best. Right, and then I'm going to go for the honey again in the centre. I'm hoping my camera won't stop recording. I don't normally do, when I was selling FM, I used to initially do live videos, so you didn't have to have the memory space on the phone for the videos. But I may do lives in future, but the thing with lives is like people have to be there to be able to watch them, and if you haven't, they're a bit of a dead loss because you spend half your time talking to yourself, whereas I'd rather be doing a video talking to myself and not being disappointed that nobody's joining a video, because otherwise it just feels a bit pointless. I've done a bit too much honey on the outer there, so I'm just putting a bit of the amber in there. And then again I'm going to go for the darker tone, the drip, just right in the crack. You don't need much of this because it's such a dark tone, and little goes a very long way. And I haven't forgotten, I have remembered. But now's the time, now that I like that, I think they're pretty even. Now that I've obviously done my eyes, I need to remember to do my brow on this eye. So again, just a lighter tone underneath my brow. Got another person looking through my window. Oh god, this is so awkward. There we go, I think that's even. Right, then, so that is me done with the honey palette. As you can see, it applies really, really nicely if you have an eyeshadow primer. I don't know whether the Frederic Mahara eyeshadow primer is the best, but it's what I'm using at the moment. I do plan on maybe trying the Urban Decay one or something, but I'll maybe invest in one of those once once my other one runs out. So as I said, I always leave my foundation till last thing. So, not that I have the best applying skills. I might contour my face today actually. I don't have a contour kit as such, if I'm honest, I really don't. I was looking at the contour kit from Barry M, which like contour sticks. So you got your lighter one and then you got your dark one. I haven't really experimented with contouring my face, if I'm honest, because it's not something I'm overly confident with, because I haven't done it really before. So at the moment, when you think about it, eyeshadows are just very similar to like powders. So I have been using an eyeshadow here to contour, and ever so slightly down here because I have a big massive fat nose. I wish I had a smaller nose, but yeah, we all have the same noses in our family, so it would be a bit sad for me to get rid of my nose. Not that I can afford to. yeah, so as you can see, this foundation isn't doing much, but yeah, it just kind of, it helps. I don't use like a primer. I used to use a primer. I might use primers in future, but right now I'm not. It just kind of sets a layer down for your blusher and everything else to stick to, and to be honest, be more obvious. Whereas if you put it on bare skin, it's not really obvious. It doesn't stand out. As you can see, it doesn't cover my spots very well, but I'm starting off with my eyeshadows. Everybody was impressed with my eyeshadows, like the shading and stuff like that. So that's why I've started to show the eyeshadows and how I do my eyeshadows. And then I think I'm going to start looking into investing into like better, I don't know, contour kits, foundations, and concealers. Although I'm really impressed with that one, if I'm honest, because it's quite a thick solution and it works quite well. So as I said, I don't have a contour kit, so again, to my Naked Honey palette, I was using like Hive, this tone, which I thought wasn't too dark for my tone, if that makes sense. And I just kind of popped it in here. Let's watch me absolutely cock this up. But yeah, I do plan on buying a contour kit and doing it properly. But right now, because I don't have a proper contour kit, I'm just kind of sticking to the safe areas, and that is just so completely uneven. And I'll pop it either side of my nose as well, because my nose is so fat. I'm not the most flattering nose, but hey ho. Concentrate on getting it straight. Right, there we go. And that's literally as much as I'm going to put on today, because I don't want to look like a clown. So again, with my little blending sponge, I just kind of dip again in my powder and then blend it out. And I think it still kind of adds that little bit of contour, but it's not like horrendous. That's why I think you can get away with eyeshadow sometimes. And again, I'm going to do the same on this side. I don't think it looks too bad. I haven't wiped it away completely. Still got that little bit of contour. And focus on my nose. I'm predominantly taking it down over. As you can see, I think it's made it makes quite a big difference to my nose. And then again on this side. There we go. Right. So the next thing I'm going to go on to is my highlighter. Which again, it is an FM highlighter. I did sell FM, so I do have a lot of FM makeup, and I'm not going to replace my makeup just for the sake of it. So this is our luxury brand, the Alea Highlighter Glass Palette selection. So I know I have the lighter tone on my eyebrow, but I'm just going to go with this one here, just below my eyebrow ever so slightly. Just add a bit of a sheen to it, just add a bit of a twinkle. There we go. And the same on the other side as well. Right, now that that's done. Oh, where's my brush? Where have you gone? There. I don't know what this brush is classed as. It's one that my auntie bought me. So yeah, but it's I think it's a foundation brush. But yeah, it's just quite good for applying, again, highlighter. So I'm just going to pop my highlighter on here and maybe a bit down the ridge of my nose. I don't want to look daft, so I'm just blending it out. And here we go. And then again on this side. Right, and then again with my bamboo brush, focus down the centre of my nose, because I've obviously got the darker contour down the sides. I just want to kind of highlight, make it look a bit skinnier if it's even possible to do that with my nose. Just down the ridge of my nose. And then just a smidge on my lips here, just above. There we go, so that's that. That's my highlighter done. I do have my days where I use like a lot less products and stuff, but yeah, I thought I'd show an accurate representation of what I do on a daily, well, I say daily basis, when I can be bothered, when I need a bit of a perk me up, because I think putting makeup on can help you feel a little bit happier sometimes when you're feeling a bit of a downer. So the next thing I'm going to go on to is my blusher. Again, it is an FM blusher. These are our brilliant magnetic palettes, so all the eyeshadows pop out and you can interchange your eyeshadows and the blushes and powders or concealers, whatever you want. And I'm just going to pop our shade Charisma just on my cheek there. Smile to try and make it look natural. Then I go on the other side. Right, the next thing I'm going to do is pop some eyeliner on, because it really makes the eyeshadow pop. As again, I mentioned this company earlier. It's called Front Cover. You used to be able to buy it in Boots. They don't sell it now, unfortunately. But yeah, I got like in one of my sets. Hang on, I'll show you. I'm just expecting you guys to be like mind readers. So this is how they came. Well, mind you, this is a TK Maxx one actually saying that. But yeah, this is how they used to come in Boots. I have quite a few of them. And as you can see, as I said, they're all domed. And you get lots of them. And then I've got another 2 big ones, but there's no point in me pulling them out. Yeah, and you sometimes additionally get like eyeliners, like liquid eyeliners, and other bits and bobs with it. And this is one that came with it, and it is really good. It's got a smudging brush on one side and an eyeliner on the other, but it's not like a pencil eyeliner like actual wood. It's like a plastic one, but it's chunky with it, so it's going to last a long time. So I'll just go on my inner eyelid on the bottom, on the inside, just like that, because it kind of makes the blue of my eyes pop and the gold. But then I introduce it on the under half as well, just dabbing it, just to kind of make those tones underneath ever so darker, to like blend blend them together and not make it stand out like a sore thumb. So just like that, as you can see, it's a bit darker than the other side. And then I'll do the same on the other side as well, just on the inside. Checking my video still going, yet. And then again, dab underneath. A lot of people go, oh wow, you're really good at like shading eyeshadows and stuff like that, but I come from like a really arty background, and it's so important to get shading right and be delicate when it comes to makeup. So there we go, again on the bottom half. You're probably thinking, why have you not done your eyelashes? I'm going to do them now. So Again, it's another FM product, but it's the Phenomenal Mascara. It's brilliant because it's just got a tiny brush with lots and lots of teeth, and really strong teeth at that. And then obviously just apply your mascara as you would. Gold really works with my, oh my god, no! Gold really works well. Do you know what? I've realised I haven't done something on my eye. I need to do the corner of my inner of my eye, I've forgotten that. Gold really works well with my skin tone and my eyes. Don't ask me why, but it just makes the blue of my eyes pop. Don't know whether it would with somebody with brown eyes or green eyes, but yeah, with blue eyes, it makes my eyes pop. So there we go, that's one eye. And then I'll just do the bottom one so it's not feeling left out. I don't put much mascara on my bottom eyelash if I'm honest, but I put enough to kind of blend the eyeliner out so it doesn't just look random, like it's been plonked there. And again, on the other side, blending out on the bottom so it doesn't look like my eyeliner's just been plonked. Looks like it's a part of a look. Got a bit too much on the end there. And then I'll do my top eyelashes as well. It's a really good mascara, this. Initially I always used to use Maybelline. I'm a fan of Maybelline before I started branching into like designer. I say designer, it's designer to me. Urban Decay makeup. I've never really bought designer makeup in my life. I've always kind of just stuck to what people class as like the drugstores, like Superdrug and Boots and stuff, just the stuff you get in there, like Maybelline and Boots and Revlon and stuff like that. Yeah, I really like this look. It really makes the blue of my eyes stand out. Anyway, I think I'm happy with the mascara there. And as I said, I forgot my eye, my inner eye, because I'm a plonker. Again, just the HBIC. I don't know what that's meant to stand for, but yeah. HBIC on the corner. I don't know how I forgot that section of my eye, but I did. On the inside, and just gradually shade it to meet the other brown tone. Just like that. Right, and then I need to do my eyebrows because they're feeling a little left out. Again, this is our Frederic Mahora what's it called, like eye pencil solution. It's got a brush on one side and it's got a sponge on the other, so I just brush it into the desired shape that I want. Brush it down over. And do the other side. And then I go back over it with the sponge and the solution. I'm not a big massive eyebrow person. I don't like to look like I've got slugs on my brows. I have really faint eyebrows as it is, so I go really careful and delicate because I just don't want to look daft. I think you can ruin a look when you go a bit OTT with the eyebrows. And then I'm just going to do the other side as well. Do we look even? I think we look even. Let me put a bit more on the inside here. Right, and then I'm not going to leave it like that because it kind of sits on the surface, so then I just go back over with the brush and I just brush it in, just to make it look that bit more natural. I do need to invest in some lipsticks, lip balms, lip glosses, stuff like that. I've got plenty of eyeshadow and not much in the way of lips, but right now I feel like it's a bit pointless putting lipstick on and stuff because you go out and you're covered anyway, nobody sees it, and it wears off during the day, which does my head in. I'm one of these convenience people. It's got to stay all day, otherwise it's pointless putting it on. But I think I'll finish off my look with our long lasting matte lipsticks. And I think I'll go for the mauve shade. So again, this is a Frederic Mahara long lasting matte lipstick. I do plan on buying other lipsticks, don't get me wrong, this isn't a page to flog the Frederic Mahara makeup, it's just what I've got because I was selling it before, so I've got lots of them. But I do plan on branching out and getting different lipsticks, lip glosses, lip balms. So if you have any suggestions, please comment below and tell me if there's any that are really nice, because yeah, I'm not really clued up on the lipsticks, lip balm, stuff like that. I've never massively bothered with them. But yeah, this is the shade Mauve. It goes quite well with my jumper actually. And then just pop it on. I won't talk because I can't talk and put lipstick on. It's so important to get your lips correct and not wonky. Can you say wonky without moving your lips? Honky. There we go. Wait for that to dry. Might have put a bit too much there on the inside, but yeah, that is my look for today, and that is the Urban Decay Honey palette with lots of different shades in there. I hope that you can see them. If I keep on doing these videos in the long term and people like them and I get interest in them, I might start investing in, like, obviously the technical equipment, maybe like the beauty light, because I'm a photographer and I know this stuff. So yeah, I might invest in a beauty light and a makeup desk, a dressing table, sorry, in future, and maybe some video editing software, because right now I'm just recording you on my phone, and yeah, as you can tell, at the moment we're on 53 minutes 28 seconds, which is quite a long video for putting makeup on. I'm not one of these expert vloggers who can crop and edit videos at the moment, so yeah, until I get to that point, if I do get to that point, I'm sorry, the videos may be long. But yeah, that is my makeup style for today. Oh, lost my bubble. Attempt to do something with his hair. And yeah, that is my look for today. It's not too much, I don't think. I didn't want to look like daft picking my nephew up from school and looking like an attention seeker. But yeah, that is me. And as I said, if you've got any suggestions for lipsticks, lip balms, foundations, comment below. I'm not into like the designer stuff like Estee Lauder, and no, don't go there. I won't be purchasing them, if I'm honest. They're just far too expensive. I have a 3-year-old child, yeah, and I can't be spending 30 quid on foundation or whatever. So yeah, that is my look for today. I hope I haven't bored you, and have a nice day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.